What? Christ! Where are the Jesus lights? Avis, son of a whore. Avis, come on back, get me, honey. Why do you want to drive off right out leave me here? Come on back and get me, Avis. Huh? Pretty please. I ain't even done my supper. Christ, I ain't even started it, Avis! Where did Jesus lights? Son of a whore! How'd you get it?
Dunno.
You don't know? What do you mean you don't know? You're in this place. Hold on, your PJs tucked in for night. You don't know how you got here?
Just lucky, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I sure as hell know how I got here. All I did was come home Reagan's. Yeah. All these years, she don't know I'm Reagan's. I come home Reagan's. Yeah. And there she is, in the kitchen. Old Davis is in the kitchenette, she calls it, just to make me remember my take-home the size of the Rockefellers, you know. And she's throwing the blue bonnet on top of the potatoes. And she's still got the carrots and the gravy finished yet. And I says to her, right innocent, mind you, I'm always right innocent with Avis saying. I says, sweet Jesus, I finished driving at 5:15 sharp, just like I've done for 15 years. By the time I'm in the door, it's 5:30, also like I've done for 15 years. By the time I get the sports and the comics out of the paper, it's 5:31, and I'm sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the table, Avis, and it's 5:31 in the p.m. 5:30, here's my darling. It's going on 5:30. Here it's 5:30 in the supper hour, and I'm sitting at the table, just like I've done for 15 years. Count about 15. So why? 15 years in the name of Christ. Can't you have supper on the supper table at supper time? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? Nothing. I says to her, damn, that's all I say. The question. I just asked a simple question. But then, by God, that's it. She all over me like a butt wrestler. She's snapping off the gas, throwing a spoon back in the gravy. Out she goes. Comes back in with my jacket here, and there's me standing there with my mouth wide open. And she's dragging me out. And the last thing I see is that slab of blue bonnet just sitting there looking all cold and stupid on top of the potatoes. And then you're in the car. And the wife, she flings up the door. Damn near wrenches her off. She rips off the roof like it don't cost nothing here, and throws it into the back seat. Probably tore up the upholstery back there. I know I should have got a spring crack, I'm afraid that is. But then, I never knew it was going to turn into no Reagan Banshee now, did I?
A banshee?
She shoves me into my side. And then she shoves me over to the passenger side. Twisted my ankle and knocked my coffee mug clean off of the dash.
Banshee. She-ban.
I'm sitting there, you know.
You're sitting there. There you're sitting.
I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus, I ain't seen this side of things in a dog's age. I go to the door here. She tears around, snaps a shut, damn near breaks my fucking arm. Then she tears around the other side. She gets in my seat, gets in on my side, pumps the locks, starts her up. I mean, like I'm going somewhere, for Christ's sakes. I hit the meter on the way in. So there's the old meter, just ticking away too. But she snapped it off. And then she thinks better of it, and she snaps it back on again. Always thinking that way. So now, I'm gonna have to pay for all this, I says. Huh? She don't say nothing. She just guns her out of the driveway. I'm thinking, there goes the old transmission job. I only had her in the shop the other day, for the love of God. And there we are. We're flying down the highway to backside. I'm watching that white line go by at a million miles. And then all of a sudden, I don't see no white line no more. I don't see nothing but black. I'm thinking, where in the hell are we? And I'm saying, slow down, Avis. Slow down, Avis. My love, slow down. But Avis, she just speeds up and up and up and up. That's my old lady's friend. She don't drive much, but when she does, she makes up for it. Jesus, does she? And I'm watching the road, and I'm watching the meter, and I'm thinking for the first time in my life, this ain't a good feeling. And I'm gonna have to pay for all this trouble. I didn't dare say nothing. But by the time it got to $5, damn right, I found her! She was right silent. Silence of the ages, right spooky to be around. She looks at me, and I'm thinking, the road, keep your eyes on the road. She looks at me, all honest, like, no, she says. Jesus, I can't stand your swearing, she says. Am I swearing? For God's sakes, I asked you, am I swearing? Me? Huh? I can't stand your swearing no more, she says. And she keeps saying it, and she's banging the wheel, and she's screaming it out until she's sick of hearing herself yet. Then she takes her hands off of the wheel, and she snaps on the radio, and she's trying to tune in one of those country stations. I sure as hell didn't have a program, so she had to search for her. That didn't stop all this. She's fumbling around. When she gets what she wants, it sounds like she got her bingo in the church hall. She squeals one of her little squeals and cranks it right up. Now, she knows I don't like that country stuff. So what's she gonna do? She looks at me. Ominous, fierce, damn near bares her teeth. Sing, she says. Sing till we get where, I says. I said sing, she says.
So you sang?
Are you kidding? You think I'm gonna be messing with a goddamn Rae Downton in the driver's seat going at 140 miles an hour? Huh? I didn't know the words, but I drowned out the meter at least. So there I am, singing away. By the time we got here, wherever here is, she clocked up $48. And that's what I'll tell you. Not that Abe's the old banshee we're looking for no tip. She just pops the locks, leans over, opens the door, pushes me, and out I come. $48, she says to me, lying there in the dirt. We'll round it out to 50 because I'm feeling nice today. And today, we're taking credit cards. Bill me, I says. I want to say, bill me, you bitch. But I can't bring myself to phone it in. She might spook and be around today. I don't say nothing. She don't say nothing anyhow. She just flings me my cap here, points to this place, shuts the door, takes off. Pay me there, she screams through the dust she's leaving. See, they'll bill me there. So, I seen that light in the window and I come. Anything to get away from her. Oh. Yeah. That's how I got here. Tom Spain. Oh. Tom? Oh. You got a name?
Me?
I don't see anybody else.
Craven.
What?
Craven, like the cigarettes.
You got a last
Eh?
name? Really? You didn't go making that up now?
I don't make things up.
So your mom named you after a pack of smokes, did she?
It's true.
Regular or menthol? Like me.
It was a mistake.
I'll say
An honest mistake, I mean. She got it out of a book. Out of a poem, I mean. She loved to read poems.
Christ.
She read to me. Everything I know, she read to me. I can remember things really well. She was reading this one by this guy, Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. You know, Poe Allen Edgar. Some guy from another time. She was reading this one about a raven. You know, like loved to make things sound good. Guess it sounded good. It sounds better backwards. Door my out from form I take, heart my out from big I take. I can remember things really well, forwards and backwards.
How'd you do that?
I see it. Well, she said I could change it if I couldn't live with it. She said it was all right when I changed it. Well, what if I just don't like it, I'd ask her. There's lots of things you can live with. You don't have to like them.
No, huh? I got someone for her to meet her, Mom.
She can't meet her. She died.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, well, let's not go to her funeral here. So she did that last night before she died, or what?
A. Craig and A. That's how I signed the book.
Craig and A, they are all right.
I told you. You're going to sign it?
Me?
I don't see anyone else.
Why should I?
It seems to be for guests. We seem to be guests.
Guess? You suppose maybe they got those underground towels upstairs? You been upstairs? Well, maybe they got a slip for you too up them towels.
Oh, I lost it on my way.
On your way where?
On my way here. I came away without it. I left pretty suddenly.
Yeah. Well, you're on your own to get your slipper, Mr. Craig. But once I sign this here register, I'm gonna hold the management of this place in them towels. Won't even like that. Me come away with my own set of towels. What do you think? A little bigger, maybe? You like the blue? Maybe one blue. One in red. Maybe they got baskets, grapes, and oranges wrapped up in cellophane for their rooms. They go on boats. Cruises, you know. I seen it on boat. Loveful, exciting, and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. D. Thomas. Baby.
D?
Dwayne, baby. Don't use it much. Ada says it sounds like something you keep in a plastic bottle under the sink. I go for Tom instead. Business is bad, eh? Ain't nobody here but you or me. I don't think they use these things no more. I thought they were all computerized nowadays. You don't get to sign your name much anymore. Yeah, they got you for every little pleasure you got left. Nope, don't see no cables. Yeah, I like signing things. Give me anything, I'll sign it. I love it when fairs ask me for receipts. I get to sign my name. Sometimes. I make mistakes on purpose, just so I can write out a new one. And sign that too.
You better look again. No, not there. In the register. There.
Oh, mother of God.
Mine's already in there too. They were really expecting us.
Well, it ain't my signature. Just looks like my signature, but it ain't. That ain't a short shit.
That's my signature, all right.
Yeah. Well, who's ever signing this thing, it's between you, me, and this fella here, Peter Simon. Plenty of hot water to go around the least. Do you think maybe they got a restaurant?
Peter Simon, it can't be.
Suit yourself a restaurant. Do you think maybe they got a restaurant?
Simon's. Peter Simon's. But it wasn't there earlier. It was just you and me. I looked all around. Mr. Bain.
Tom!
Where do you guess we are, Mr. Bain?
I don't got me a clue to the blue side. The wife, she must think it's some kind of fancy spot. Yeah. For the rich and famous, maybe. The rich, the famous, and the fat. Wherever it is, Davis just want to make sure it costs me a bundle.
She thought it was a health spa?
Must be helping the wife ain't here. So long as they got a good restaurant, that's all I care. Look, what you come here for? You don't even know where you are.
I didn't come here. At least I didn't mean to. The last thing I remember, I was
Fake rice.
It was way on the bottom. She put it there for a special occasion, way on the bottom. Don't touch this, Craven, she said. It's for a rainy day. That's for a special occasion. Is a rainy day a special occasion?
That happens to bomb squads, you know. They get fake rice. Beam me up, Scotty. There they go. Right off of the planet. Little clouds of pink steam. Plastics! They might hit a brick wall. It's like having a brick wall go clean through you. Do you know, bomb squad don't get paid any more than regular force?
There wasn't much left in the freezer anyway.
I always wanted to be on regular force. Regular force at least.
I've been eating out of it for months. I didn't want to leave Mommy to go to the store even. When she died finally, I was down to eating all the big stuff in the bottom. Lots of lemon loaf. I was kind of sick of it. Even if it was Mommy's and that's all there was left of her. I was trying to get past the lemon loaf, and then I leaned so far in my slipper fell off.
Mommy?
She died.
Oh yeah, you told me this, sorry.
She died anyway. I hardly left her side, but she died anyway. I figured if I stayed by her side, she wouldn't leave me. I mean, how can you leave someone when they're staying by your side begging you to stay? How can you just up and die?
Poof! Yeah, a poof of pink steam.
She read to me. I repeated it all back to her a mile a minute. I never left a single space where she could even think about slipping away. When I left the room, you know, I called through the door. I knew she wouldn't leave mid-sentence. She could hardly leave mid-sentence, could she? We went through all the Reader's Digest in the hospital waiting room. She loved to hold them, and they were small enough. And then we found some kids' books. They were even smaller. I used to sleep right by her side. The nurses brought me a car. I didn't ask. I never have asked.
I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere with a pink poof.
Don't touch this, Craven, she said. It's for a special occasion. And then she put it into the bottom of the deep freeze. And then she died. That was ages ago. I'm still waiting, wondering what the special occasion is going to be. It hasn't come yet, unless you count the time Mary Ann Ferrier from 16B down the hall brought over my hydro bill. She got it in her mailbox by mistake. I thought if I invited her in, I could take it out and serve. And I had a foaming coffee sample I got in the mail. I was saving that too for that special occasion. So I said to Mary Ann, will you come in for a case of coffee? But my heart was going so fast. That's all I could hear. My heart pounding in my ears. So maybe I didn't really say it at all. Or maybe I said it, but my heart drowned it out. Anyway, she just turned around, walked down the hall, back in her apartment, and closed the door. Bet it was her night to wash her hair.
Special occasion if there ever was. I don't know how you went through it.
And it's been sitting there ever since. Ice crystals all through it. I even dreamt about it. The dog was looking at it in my dreams, though. I knew it wasn't right.
What dog?
I was worried it would get freezer burn. Mommy always warned me about freezer burn. You can't get good freezer wrap, you know.
I find some. I'll wrap Davis in little chunks.
So finally this morning, I just woke up and said, it's time. I got out of bed and just went in and opened the deep freeze. And there I am, leaning all the way in. And I'm actually touching it. I have it in my hands, and I'm lifting it up, and through my breath, where it's fogging the saran wrap, I can see it. Right into the heart. I can see it. And it's strawberry. Strawberry? It was supposed to be chocolate. In my dreams it was chocolate. It was always chocolate. And here it was strawberry. I couldn't believe it. All my life it's been chocolate ice cream cakes and a lemon loaf. And here she goes and makes one for a special occasion That's what's left to me? That's what's left to me, a mummy, a mistake? I was shocked. I was so shocked I yelled right out loud, "Strawberry! Jesus, Jesus, God, why does she know they made strawberry ice cream?" Just as I said that, I think the deep freeze lid must have fallen. I was so shocked I dropped it. Banged me on my head so hard I didn't even see stars, just black. And when it came to, I was here. I feel different somehow.
Well, I don't see any blood on you. You must be dead already.
I don't look different?
Huh? Different don't cover what you look. You look nuts. Chocolate nuts for your strawberry ice cream chocolate sundae there.
Oh, don't you think it's kind of miraculous?
Miraculous? Some miracle. You coming away without your supper? Me coming away without my supper? Me coming away without my supper? Wonder how long it is for Vintage time in this place, huh? Well, there's only one way to find out.
Oh, don't do that. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Mr. May.
Well, you're not me. And thank the Lord for that, his many blessings. Now listen here, Tinkerbell. We don't ring that bell, how are we going to get service around here?
Service? You think that's what we need? You think we should ring for service?
I think we need to know something. Would you agree, huh? I think we need to be told when we're going home, or if dinner's to be served if we ain't going home yet.
Yet? You think we are going home? I'd like to go alone. I have to say, I feel kind of funny here. Not knowing where we are and all. I mean, not knowing how we got here. Maybe I'm concussed. I always wanted a concussion. Everybody else managed to get at least one concussion when we were kids. I never did. Everybody else got hit in the head with a baseball. I never did.
I don't know about that.
I'd rather be home if I could. With my concussion. Jeopardy would just be coming on. I'm good at Jeopardy.
The other one's the one I like. The one with that broad there turning the letters.
Something's not right here, you know. Everything's very nice, I'm sure. The furniture, the atmosphere. You're just fine company, I'm sure. Whoever signed us into the book is probably just fine too. But I think underneath it all, it might be like Mr. McGregor's Garden. That's one of the last books we read, Mommy and me. It was small enough she could hold it, no problem. Don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden, it said. Your father had an accident there. He got put in a pie by Mr. McGregor. It was a mother rabbit saying this.
Oh, Jesus, a mother rabbit. A mummy bunny.
And Mrs. McGregor wasn't a rabbit.
Oh, Jesus, a pink poof who's looking for his mummy bunny. Hey, miss, you're looking better all the time, darling.
McGregor misses by pie. Don't you wonder why we're here? How we got here? Where this is?
So long as they got a good dining room and a full kitchen, who cares? Free for babies, that's all I want. Yeah. Daytime building. I say I was never here. Never made no reservation, now did I?
Signed a book.
Yeah. Well, so did everybody else, it seems. Smoke?
There's no smoking in here.
Says who? Who gonna stop me? You? Tinky's gonna stop me.
There's a sign out front.
I don't bother with signs.
There is.
Oh, for Christ's sake, swear!
It says no smoking. It says abandon smoke, all ye who enter here. Here enter who ye, all smoke abandon.
Halt! It says abandon all ye who enter here. Don't say nothing about smoking. Out of my sight. Come on. I thought you could memorize things.
Here enter who ye all hope abandon. I can't believe you'd sit there and smoke smoke like that.
Like what?
When there's no smoking,
Helps me sleep.
you're not going to sleep.
Mike! Joe did. Hard though, such rousing company.
I can't sleep.
Me? I sleep the sleep of the dead.
I drop off and I'll be awake a second later. I've seen him again. The dog is waiting behind the door. Waiting, watching, waiting for me to close my eyes.
What dog?
And then he's there almost on top of me.
Get a cat?
This great big paws.
Get a cat, for Christ's sakes. Look. Get a cat. The only thing cats do is they think things actually in the middle of the night. Multiplication tables, stuff like that. Stuff that gets in your dreams. Songs, you know, bits of songs. Only they don't think all the words at you. Just so they can watch you go nuts trying to remember. Now, if you don't want to be thought at, you just shut the door.
I know all the words. I memorize.
Yeah.
Forwards and backwards, I see it.
Darling. Now, when she was a kid, she had to have a cat, you know, one of those. Them kids, they always gotta have something. Out of my chair! Sometimes I go in on her at night to take a look. Sure enough, there's the cat just parked on top of the dresser there beside the crib, staring at it through those bars, thinking away at her something fierce, wasting its time. Them cats, they're always wasting their time. Might have known she was a kid. What, you gonna be thinking back secrets of the universe? Huh? Yeah, well, talk about wasting time. I'm gonna see if there's a kitchen up there. Out of my way!
How do you know there's a kitchen up there?
It's a hotel, it ain't a restaurant. Kitchen.
It's a health spa, like your wife said.
So the shelves are full of items. Let's go see the items.
There's not a kitchen up there.
How do you know? You've been up there?
No,
Well, how do you know what's up there?
I just do.
Well, what's up there?
I don't know, I just know it's not up there.
Ah! Jesus Christ! Is that what you do? Huh? Thinking things that ain't there? Forwards and backwards?
There's no kitchen. Probably that is because probably there's no food. And probably there's no food because probably we're not going to be needing food.
You speak for yourself. I'll have yours then.
Because probably we're dead.
Probably we are.
I just want to go home now.
I think your ticket's one way. Who the hell are you? Simons. Peter Simons, Mr. Bay.
How the hell do you know who I am?
I looked in the book. Your name was in the book too, remember? And you, Mr. Craig.
How did you?
Give me this, give me this, give me this. Peter Simon loves and fishes.
Simons.
Loves and fishes, does he? Some life. Must be hard, all that loving and fishing. Suppose you come to this here resort hotel to get a little R&R away from your busy love life for a few days.
It doesn't say loves. That's not what it says. It says Mr. Peter Simon.
Peter, please. Loaves and fishes is my company, Mr. Bay. Catering. Maximizing your menu. That's our motto. Sorry I'm late. You wouldn't believe the traffic. There was an accident on the interstate. We drove past it. A taxi cab with a woman driving. Police say she'd been all over the road riding like a lunatic.
Women drivers, what I tell you,
Making the
eggs.
area, and she was screaming over it, but you could hardly hear her. She's all right, I think, but the guy in the passenger seat, well...
If you call him Tom.
No, he can't.
It doesn't matter what we call each other. Our names are in the book.
Well, you know so much about everything, Mr. Know-it-all. Tell me this. They serve din around here or what?
Or what, I think.
Or what?
Mr. Bain, this is the place where we pare down to our nothings. This is where we lose our weight.
Well, not me, Pete. I ain't got that much to lose. I want to keep the bit I got. Save on the heat bill if you know what I mean.
You won't have to worry about the heat here. Just the cold. The eternal cold. The darkness.
What darkness? They was worried about the hydro bill. They could have started by cutting that right up there. No, I don't think I'm going to be looking to lose anything. Thank you very much.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Check your taps, Mr. Bain.
Check your own bleeding tax. What are you, some kind of TV preacher?
He says he's not even going to pay.
Oh, yes, he is.
Look, you think you got something to lose, that's fine with me. You can eat all the roast fishes, drink all the carriages, have all the massages you want. Have mine for me, why don't you? Be my guest for free. You can have my towels, all my laps around the pool. Yeah, anything. Me, I'm just here for supper. And so far, that ain't going so good. So if you gentlemen will excuse me.
Loaves and fishes, fishes and loaves. Do you think we'll all have to pay? I came away without my wallet.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. They can probably bill you.
I even came away without my slipper.
One shall be taken and the other left.
It's June, July, August in here. The future's so bright. I'm gonna need shades. Find her. It's a kitchen, all right, boys, way back there. It's a wall-to-wall, steam tables, and the fridge is so big, you can park the horse in. But there's nothing in it. Not a Jesus crumb. But I found this. Just like the one Avis uses on Elmer's whole wheat from down the street. Avis is the wife.
I know.
Just checking. Ain't you just a superstar? What are they gonna break my 40 up back? Answer me that one now, Mr. Peter, the great visionary. You got some loaves over there for us, huh? Maybe we should carve you up. Yeah? Boil up a couple of Mr. Peter, the great kidneys for supper. Just like that guy with those kids ziplocked in his fridge. What's his name?
Jeffrey Dahmer, Jeffrey.
Yeah, just like that Jeffrey Downton.
Jeffrey.
Whatever, his mummy bunny probably called him Jeffrey.
I don't make the rules, Mr. Bain. Take it up with someone in charge. I'm here seeking an exemption. I'm just a supplicant, Mr. Bain. Like you.
Who are you calling? Or what are you calling?
A supplicant.
There ain't no supplicants. There ain't no supplicants and no supper neither, because there ain't no one in charge, like I've been telling you.
You know, Mr. Bain, there are people in this world hungrier even than you.
Name one.
There are people in this world who can't just pick up a phone book to send out.
The phone book. Find the phone book, kid. We'll call out for pizza. Or a cat. Maybe Annex will come and get us.
There's no phone.
I look.
Grown men with bodies like weeds.
Yeah, well, we'll be getting there soon ourselves.
Men are always to pray, and not to faint. Women and children all over the world.
Oh, jeez. Here he goes with that save the children stuff. I knew he was a TV preacher. Throw a quarter for me, Mother Teresa.
Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, there are worse things to starve of than hunger, Mr. Bain. There are other hungers. Is there any hunger greater than the hunger for love?
Let's ask Ava. She ain't getting it.
Forget to mention it.
No, I won't forget to mention it. Mr. Mother Teresa, I'm not going to let you go going around holier than thou me and telling me to forget it.
I knew a child with eyes ringed round black from a hunger that would not go away, Mr. Bain, no matter what he was fed.
Little black it wasn't. Listen, Pete, let me tell you something. Here's a band-aid for your bleeding heart. Them Chinese chinks, them black kids way over there in Africa, them boat people that goes down in the South China Seas or Florida or wherever, they can't stand the heat. They never should have got on the boat. And then they go crying us about it. Well, let me tell you something. Nobody cares. You know why? Because we work hard for our money over here in God's country. Is it our fault God chose us, huh? Let them go make their own money, then we'll talk.
Don't tell me, Mr. Bain. Tell someone in charge.
And on top of that, they all got the same face, and they all got the same name. That ain't a tragedy. No, you can't even tell them apart. That's just a rearrangement of the population. Proper thing. There's too many of them anyway. That's why they gotta get on them boats and come all the way over here in the first place. All stuffed on like that. That's why the boats sink. What do they expect? They don't need charity, no sirree. What they need is a decent roadmaster. Anyway, when you can tell them apart, you can see their faces are all different, and you know they all got different names too, then that's a tragedy, you know what I mean?
The water is wide. I cannot cross over, and neither have I wings to fly.
You tell me! Just tell me how many people are flying over on 6 o'clock blues. How many? I ain't seen no hard copy camera crews and no boats in the South China Seas lately. You know why? 'Cause you ain't got a face you're not news.
So, you've had a bereavement?
What?
A death in the family?
Oh, no. No, not mine. Not my own. We never had our own. We wanted to, but it just never happened.
Gotta know the moves, Pete. That you did.
Maybe it would have been different with more to lose, I don't know.
Probably shooting blanks. If he was shooting at all. Were you shooting, Pete?
We adopted, finally. Privately. He was a toddler then. Where we'd been before, I think he'd been in hell. With us, you know, even with us, still, he never escaped it. I think when he died, sometimes I think it was the safest place for him. The only place. My wife didn't. It was hard on her. She said forever after, she couldn't stop seeing him there at the top of the stairs before his foot went down into empty space. Before his other foot went tumbling after. Then the leg, the whole of him. And then nothing. That's how she saw it.
Knee bone connected to the
She did see it. She'd just come out of the kitchen to see you go up and check on her. Maybe it would have been different if I'd seen it. The adoption cost us $20,000, not a great investment, as it turned out. She tried to work it out. Burying it. That's what she called it. She was trying to bury it. That's what it looked like, too, like she had something heavy on her. Most days she would make it down to the kitchen, coffee pot. She would pour the water for the coffee, but then it was like she never lifted her head out of the sink. It drags you down, the weight of her dead.
It's not, you know, it's light as air.
What is?
Well, that stuff about dead weights. There's nothing as light as a dead body. Unless you try to lift it, which I never did. It lifts itself if you notice.
Maybe you do notice it if you've been watching it that long, 10 minutes.
I noticed it. I memorized it.
As it empties itself, you see more and more just what remains. She saw him just emptying out into the air. Emptying out a little more every time he hit.
The water in the bathtub, you know. When you first run it, when you get in, when it's warm, it's you. But when it cools, it's something else, not you. So you have to get out of it. So, when it's only a body at the end is when you're closest to it. When you know it the best. It's not a part of you anymore. There's nothing of you in it anymore. So light. Really light.
There's nothing so heavy as a dying body, clutching at what it wants to keep, at what isn't there. She tried to look at it as a moment before something happened, she said. She tried to stay in that moment. That moment warrants just as much as the next, she would say. It warrants just as much fixing on. So she tries not to go on to his next moment. His little boy's death dance in the air. A little too much air for a little boy. He was a little too high up.
A boy falling out of the sky.
So there she'd be every morning, hanging over a sink. She stayed in that moment, all right? What is it he's missing, I would say? What is so great about being here? Sometimes she would walk for miles, she would tell me, and with every step she would ask herself just that. She would walk past the video store because she had to get somewhere, past the park, and the dry cleaners on the corner. She would see her face reflected in the windows of the dry cleaners, not as her face, but as the face of someone who had to get somewhere, or somewhere else, and somewhere else, and somewhere else. And she would think, She would force herself to think this is what he gave up. When her grocery bag split coming out of the trunk and all the oranges rolled onto the street, is this what he's missing? She would ask that. Trivia, irritation, accidents, worthlessness. All this life, she said, just worthless. And she almost believed it. But when she picked them up that day, those oranges, when they fit so perfectly round into her hand, she stood there a long time in the middle of the street, an orange in either hand. And she knew then, she said, this is why it's worth being here. To hold these oranges in your hands. She said it was like holding love. The kind of love that gets held in hands.
I never fell down the stairs. I never even fell off a ladder. I never fell off a ladder, and I never got a concussion. Everybody else did.
And they died?
No, of course.
Oh, for God's sake, I said, oranges? Oranges?
Orange, where?
We stayed together for a year after that. Soon we were just two people held together by community property, and eventually we got lawyers, and the lawyers saw to that. It's funny. There was a cottage on the lake we couldn't agree on in the end. She didn't want it. I mean, I would have given it to her, but she just didn't want it. She didn't want it sold either. All this time it's just sat there. I went down there today to close it up for the winter, and I remembered him. Well, we used to take him there. It was the only place he slept through the night and showed any interest in the cookies she made him. At home, you know, she would bake and bake, went through all kinds of trouble to make him gingerbread man. I don't know if he would just pick up, and most of them would end up in the garbage.
She should have burned her. Little black ones to make him feel at home.
But at the cottage on the lake, he ate and slept. It was the only time he didn't look for places to hide. He learned how to swim. He was fearless in the water, utterly fearless. It was beautiful to watch. I don't know. Maybe it was just that he already knew there were worse things than drowning.
Should have learned him something proper. Darts!
I wandered down to the dock today, and I thought I saw him up there on the water. Way, way out. And he was throwing something. It looked like he was casting a net over the water. You know, I've never seen anyone cast a net before in my life, but that was it.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man! You ain't seen Spider-Man? You ain't seen Spider-Man.
I called out over and over and over again. I don't know what I said. I called out to God. I called out to anyone who would listen. But no one would listen. No one heard me. No one was out there. And then the darkness thickened. I got very dizzy. Everything around me started to swim.
Don't tell me, let me guess. And then the lid of the deep freeze slammed down and she sank. Next thing you know, you're here half as president.
You don't know suffering, do you, Mr. Bain?
I know you, Pete, pal. And what a distinct pleasure that is. That's close enough.
Actually, he died most agreeably, as dying goes. He was like that, you see. Most people are not quite so agreeable, not in their lives, not in their deaths. Most people really want for something, not just a step to be there under a foot, but most people really want. Till now, I've never wanted for anything in my life. Passed it off as a talent I'd learned, pretended that I'd worked hard at it to perfect it. But none of that was true. I didn't have to learn not to want. I never wanted for anything in my life because I had everything. Except for all this. My life has gone so smoothly, sometimes I think I'm in a sitcom, you know, where trouble busters during the first commercial break and then dies in the second. Soap operas are different, though. Yes, it's only in soap operas where things are forever going wrong, and it is so soothing. When you watch them, you dream of your own life going like that.
My mother died.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's it, ladies. Take off.
You ready?
Jesus Christ!
You ready?
Jesus Christ!
Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus is off tonight, but I hope I'll do. You are here for the contestant search and Halloween, where we stayed at the beautiful Hyatt Regency.
We are?
I'm asking you.
Not us.
Oh, that must be tomorrow's lot. I know who you are. You are here for the off-hour special event. Count yourselves fortunate you got in. We're only closed for the weekend. We only open for special requests. Mr. Craven, Mr. Bay, and Mr. Simon.
Hey.
What?
Mr. A.
Mr. A. Well, would it be nice? What is your special request? Well, Mr. Bain, do I pass muster? Do you like a dress? It's new in August. We have a sponsor camp. Where will it be?
Mr. Bain here wants some dinner.
I'm sure Mr. Bain here can speak for himself.
He's had no trouble so far.
And you, Mr. Simons?
I have an overwhelming urge to buy a vowel.
Well, this is where I come from. We usually introduce ourselves first, then we get personal.
Merry Christmas. Well, you're expecting God.
Miss, Crystal, I was expecting something.
Miss.
Miss Crystal.
Casino hostess, convener, and special events coordinator at your service.
Who are you expecting?
No, I guess. I might have known.
Well, you did know, Mr. Simons. You have read all about me. You have sent your little messages off into the dark, and you thought Lord Leonard was looking on. Don't bother to deny it now. We're family friends, as it were. Now, you just quit that right here. All that serving and denying. Mr. Simons here can't quite make up his mind whether it's for us or against. Always running lukewarm. Better check those taps, Mr. Simons.
Ain't I seen you on TV?
Yeah, aren't you famous? Aren't you Billy's sister or something?
Oh, darling, I'm a mom, as I know. But who is it that you say that I am?
Oh, is this a game? I love games. I'm good at games.
Well, missus, you can be Jesus, Mary, and Joseph and the three wise men for all I care. So long as you get me a menu or get me out of here.
Oh, such appetites, Mr. Bain.
Well, I ain't getting them took care of. I come away without my supper. I'm ravenous. Starving.
Yes, I know. But aren't we all? And is there any hunger greater than the hunger for love?
He said that.
I did.
I know. I remember things.
His type's always saying things like that. It's all they're thinking they do. But some of us are interested in simple things, ain't Mr. B? We can take a walk to the kitchen now if you like. Please, follow me. 76 trombones, let it be. Hooray for the one. Fred Lowe will do it.
Be a hell of a start, Toots.
Isn't that so, Mr. Simons? You're not, I expect, Mr. Simons. Mr. Simons here knows all about the Fred. Why don't you tell him?
And he said I should take it up with you.
I said take it up with someone in charge.
Ain't she in charge?
Apparently, it's just that I was expecting
Oh,
someone.
give it a rest, Mr. Simons. What you see is what you get. Your type is always expected. Your type is more expected than a maternity ward. Now, if we could just get on with it. I believe that Mr. A has a question.
He ain't got no question. He come away without his cake and without his money. His needs are pretty simple. Dessert and pie. That's it. Let's go.
Just a moment, if you please, Mr. Bain. Fred
Several.
I was afraid of that. It's always the same old thing. Inquiring minds want to know. Well, let's do get on with it. We don't have all night.
Several thousand. Well, I thought that I might just mention, I thought I might bring up a small matter of what...
That's what I'm sorry. You're right, finish.
Right. Yes, it's about food, too, I guess. It's about, food, really. Yes, it's about food. Mr. Bain is right.
Now, yes.
Food? Really, Mr. Simons, you called me here to go over your groceries?
Well, why not?
Why the hungry go unfed, Christ?
We'll have to get to that sooner or later. May as well be sooner, unless you'd like to go later. I'll keep it all right. No problemo. Let's see it here. Hives, heresy, Holocaust, high heel deformities, high blood pressure. How long? We must have hooked up with the AMA on the internet. Next thing you know, we have a drug salesman from Eli Little knocking at the door, peddling their wares, begging us to listen to Prozac. Money changes in the temple and all that. Session. Oh, here it is. Hunger. It's given. Inequitable, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Inequitable, I grant you, but here it is given. Now, is there anything else before Mr. Gibbons?
What is the point? Can't the answers get any better than that?
Weekend after weekend, special event after special event, it's always the same old thing. Same old questions, same old answers that really don't pay you enough.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can be more original.
So am I, Mr. Simon. So are we all.
I'm sorry you can be either, for that matter.
Oh, look. Hunger is cross-referenced with free will. Let's just see what we have under free will, shall we? Feast, famine, freezing egg, pour a glass cool bubbly at the end of the day like this one would be. And see, fundamentalists. It's just amazing who gets into this thing, you know?
Like us?
Well, you asked. Don't forget. You called us here, and here we come. All this way on a service call. So show a little respect. Forgetting. Free will. No. Free will. Okay, is no longer a useful concept. Where's the bucket?
Under D, no doubt.
How I love that. Well, this book is full of it. There are more cross-references with data than upon anything else except sin cross. Data is cross-referenced with sin. I know that one. I don't even have to look that one up. Yes. Sin. You should just see the cross-references for sin.
I can only imagine.
Well, free will, Mr. Simons. What can I say?
I'm dying to know.
Some things, you know, are just beyond our control. There are some fundamental flaws built into the original specs. But you can't have it both ways. I mean, that's the problem with you people. You always want to have things both ways.
For that, I might just as well stay on the dock looking out into the water.
The water? Yes. I see. Casting your nets and all that.
They weren't my nets. They were his.
Well, he sees them fall, you know, everyone. Sparrows, tender views, lilies of the field and all that.
So it's been said.
What's being said, for Christ's sakes?
They toil not, neither do they spin, unlike me, of course. They do not know what they are missing. They do not know what they are missing here in the spotlight. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. Well, it's just a song, Mr. Simon. It's just a song.
perfection, all that perpetual photosynthesis ticking away like a Swiss timepiece.
Always running both ways. There you go again. Now, what did I tell you not 2 minutes ago?
I think I'd want to save myself.
Oh, please, save yourself from what, for God's sake? You are a lily in the field. Concentrate.
Lilies die. At the end of all that endless, blissful perfection, at the end of all the toiling knot and spinning, they still die.
Well, maybe they do. But at least they don't go on moaning about it like some people like me. They just go in for a little retread, that's all. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, CO2, that sort of thing. That's all the elements they need. Plenty more where they came from, so don't worry about it. So they die. But there's a little death here and there.
There's no more of me.
Oh, nonsense. You had a wife, family.
No.
You forget progeny?
No.
You didn't forget progeny? Progeny. You know, Peter Pan and little feet to carry on the name and all that. Progeny, I'll just look it up for you.
No!
Innocent blanks.
Oh, I see. Can't problem wrong. Still. Every now and then, God will touch you, Mr. Simons. That can make all the difference in the world. Has God touched you today?
Has he touched you?
I asked you first.
All this going around in circles.
But it's age old, Mr. Simons. It has a blessing of antiquity, and it's a time-honored tradition. There is a legacy of stories on the subject. I have any number in my repertoire. I could just do a little soft shuffle and tell you a few. Hey, lift, stop, and fly. I don't care if I die, oh baby. Lift, stop, and fly. I don't care if I die. Don't. Oh, shit, we just skip all that and you can put in your bid now for my head on a silver platter. The service industry these days, I tell you, they really don't pay me enough.
It seems to me that this day is going to be a great disappointment to all of us. It seems to me that you can't tell me anything that I don't know already. You can't even get Mr. Raven here a slipper.
Hey, Mr. A.
Or Mr. Bain here a bite to eat.
Yeah.
And you are hardly what we wanted. You are hardly what we all expected or needed, I mean. It seems to me that our needs are quite simple, really. Food, clothing, one lousy slipper.
Yeah,